Hi, friends. Welcome to another very vibrant pour. So, I am loading the cup, and so I'm going to be pouring on a 24 by 30 canvas, 24 by 30 inches. And so, for that, I need about between 24 25 ounces of paint. And so I really should be using like smaller cups, but I don't want to put flow extender or a base coat. So I figure if I do these two 16-ounce cups, I could probably just maybe do like 14 ounces each. So that makes 28. So that leaves like 3 ounces of paint that I can kind of tilt off, and it should be fine. So I started by pouring first gold, then I went in with red, and then gold, yellow, well, and my phthalo blue. I only had a little bit in the bottle. I have more in different cups and stuff like that, but I wanted to use up the stuff that's in the bottle so I can clean them and maybe pour some more paint in there because I'm getting a lot of nuggets in there. So nuggets are just like the I guess when the paint sort of begins to dry, it gets little dry bits inside the paint, and if if you don't pick them up when before they dry, then they will be stuck in there, and yeah, and they look like dry bits of paint, and they're not pretty. So, all right, here we go. So we're trying to do the kiss pour that similar to the one I recently did, and so because there's so much paint here, I have an opportunity to go back and do the kiss pour in between the other one. And now I still have paint in my cup. And so I go crazy with it. Yeah, so I love the wiggly lines that a straight pour will do when you're close to the canvas. And so I'm doing this kiss pour, but it's super close to the canvas and it is doing some amazing things. It really is fantastic and so colorful. Now, it sort of reminds me of Carnival in Brazil. I guess they also celebrated in Italy, but Italy's more like masquerade type stuff, whereas Brazil, it's you know what you think of Carnival. Carnival is like floats and dancing, and so yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that because of that the blue and yellow, and green, and that's like the Brazilian flag, and then like the orange and stuff like that. It's so vibrant, and yeah, so for a long time I thought that the first country that I wanted to visit when I was able to visit and could afford it or whatever was Brazil. And I always still want to go, but in a group for AICHE, which is the American Institute of Chemical Engineers, there's the executive student committee is the only student run committee for that organization, and it's one of the oldest organizations in the country, and it's so it has the beginnings of the organization are not awesome. Um, so the individuals were part of the eugenics movement, or they had those ideas when they first began, but the the good part of the organization that I mean, I shouldn't say that. I mean, they weren't based in on those ideals, but some of the individuals that were part of the organization as well participated in things like the Manhattan Project and some of the other stuff that is somewhat controversial. But the one good thing that they did was they provided standards for engineering, so to ensure that individuals who call themselves engineers had some basic understanding and of nature and ability to work with nature and that sort of thing. But anyhow, so in that organization has grown and has changed and is a lot more relevant to diverse communities. And so the Executive Student Committee is a global organization. And so anyhow, so I met individuals and worked with individuals from all over the world. But the individuals from Brazil is I told them of my desire to come to Brazil, and they're like, "Oh, totally come," or whatever. But then they're like, "Oh, but it's super dangerous, and you don't want to be around. I mean, out by yourself." And so yeah, they super scared me, and so I no longer have the desire to go to Brazil. Because yeah, if I'm gonna be like unsafe or whatever, then I'd rather not spend my money and maybe watch a movie about Brazil and be home instead, or maybe visit somewhere in the United States where at least I know, the language, and I'm less likely to be kidnapped. Anyhow, let's get back to this port. So I love what the port did and sort of what it reminds me of. Now I'm putting this flow extender, which I made out of color shift paints from Folk Art. And so it's the green one and it's the aqua one, and it's pretty much 1-to-1 in terms of the ratio. And so I put it on here, and now I am basically trying to spread it with my hands. Now I do have gloves on, which is a step up from most other situations, because I always forget to put my gloves on, and then I have to wash my hands often, and so my hands are all cracked. Yeah. So when I was on the phone with my sister, I talked to her about O'Keefe, that hand cream. I'm gonna try it and see if that helps me. So now you will note that I didn't quite spread this flow extender, and really I think the flow extender would have still have worked. The problem here is that the cheap not cheap but economical canvases that I'm using have this wooden thing in the middle, and to me it seems like it's higher than the other wood around the canvas. And so it's supposed to be just a basic support system to not so that the paint doesn't sink in with the canvas or whatever. But yeah, so what it's doing really is preventing the paint from moving as a whole. And so some paint moves on one side and the other paint moves on the other side, And so it just, yeah, it made me lose my composition. So I was not happy about that. So one, it's the fact that it's the economical canvas, but then at the same time also I had used the canvas to basically put the dry results, or like the finished paintings on there so that I can like take video of them. And then once I did that, then I put it on the floor. I mean, it was standing up, but it's still touching the floor. And I forgot what else I did with it. And so yeah, so it was sort of like used again, but yeah, I didn't spray the back with water, so it wasn't like super tight. But still, yeah, I just, eventually I'm gonna have to just bite the bullet and buy some gallery wrapped canvases, but they are so expensive. But in the long run, you might end up paying less for them because, like here, I'm losing all this beautiful paint. I mean, I'm still gonna end up with a good piece because the colors are stunning, and even though I lost the wiggles and majority of the composition here already, that copper with gold and azo orange and rouge and yellow in the middle is just stunning. Like, I wish you could see my monitor. It is fantastic. It looks so pretty. And yeah, so I wish I could keep more of the middle part, but like I said, I'm struggling because this paint is moving separately, and yeah, so it's hard. I thought about keeping negative space, and could have done that as well, but there's just so much paint on the canvas because I used two 16-ounce cups. I mean, obviously, I went up to like maybe 14 ounces each, so that's 28. But I only needed like between 24 and 25, so there's still plenty of extra paint in here. So yeah, so right here, I'm thinking, do I leave negative space? Do I not leave negative space? But yeah, the fear is that if I leave some negative space, that means I'll have too much paint on the canvas and it's gonna crack. So I decided to just, forget about trying to keep the overall sense of the composition and just take a look at the colors that are there and seeing how I can best utilize those colors and come up with something that's pretty. And so as I tilt, I begin to see that this middle on the part is giving me vibes of a phoenix rising. And so I'm trying to keep sort of the wings on the canvas, but at the same time I'm also trying to just tilt off this excess paint and also cover corner to corner the canvas, since I decided not to keep negative space. And yeah, so I think I'm gonna need to always spray these canvases. I only have like 2 or 3 of the larger ones left, so but I still have to make sure that I spray it with water so that way it's a little bit tighter, and hopefully that wooden structure in the middle, the wooden support in the middle won't necessarily affect the composition so much. It's just too bad, because this, when I first poured it, was just stunning. I mean, I still like it because the colors are fantastic, but it's not what I poured originally. But see how, like, this is like the phoenix. It's rising. It's saying, hey, you know what? Maybe it's not exactly what we were thinking we wanted out of this painting, but it's still beautiful. We're gonna rise. It's gonna be amazing, and we're gonna be happy with this piece. It really is pretty stunning, and I mean, the colors are just so. Look at this. Wow, it's so pretty. And the phoenix rises. Ooh, yes. I'm calling this one Phoenix Rises, or something related to the phoenix, because it kind of looks like a phoenix in the middle. And if you saw from the beginning, well, you'll understand why. So pretty. This is my favorite part. It's the phoenix in the middle. It's just so pretty. So beautiful. I think it's gonna dry really nice. I would have loved to keep the feathery effect, but I didn't put a base coat, and then I tried the flow extender, and I haven't quite mastered my flow extender stuff, but I'm working on it, and it should be fantastic eventually. I still love this. It's like, oh, this middle part is so beautiful. I still have a ton of lines, defined lines, gradients. Color shift did its job. Look at this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.